Still morning, isn't it? Although you probably feel like it's afternoon because this is what, your sixth period class? Fourth? Oh, well, that's afternoon, though, right? Yeah, kind of. Okay. I'm Trenton Pauley. I'm the commander of the local VFW Post. That's 3081 Memorial City Post. And I went to Morgantown High School, but retired here in Grafton after 21 years in the Air Force and 11 years as a school teacher in Georgia. And then I did a little teaching over at the middle school. My wife said, I thought you retired. I said, okay. Hey, I know when to listen to her. At any rate, in the Air Force, I flew the F-4 Phantom in Vietnam. I flew the A-7 Corsair in Vietnam. Flew the F-4 in Korea. Flew the A-10 in Arizona, O2, and throughout the United States. I was also a paratrooper on exchange duty with the Army. So not only did I fly those planes, I was dumb enough to jump out of them, which was a lot of fun, actually. And I served also in Lebanon, and I was in Kuwait when they blew up the embassy in 1983. I wasn't in the building, thank goodness. It was scary enough as it was. And the rest of the guys over here, we'll start with Mr. Hollis Gregory.
I'm Hollis Gregory, served in the United States Marine Corps, Vietnam era. Also occupied occupation forces in Korea, South Korea. I was in what they call the FMF, that's Fleet Marine Force, FMF PAC, a force in readiness, Marine Corps aboard ship of the Navy. And the good Lord let me come back, all in one piece.
I'm Butch Pickens. I spent 31 years in the United States Navy. I fought in Vietnam, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, escort tankers out of the Persian Gulf, and many other things. I also spent several months in Kuwait in 1973. We were on PLO, and I think we were in his Palestine Liberation Organization. We were on their business, so we had got to
graduated from GHS. I'm pretty tough now. And I've got 31 years in service in the Second World War. And I have 7 honorable discharges.
My name is Thomas Matthews, last name spelled 1T. I'm a 1942 graduate of Grafton High School. I was in the United States Army, the 45th Division, better known as the Thunderbirds. I joined them in Italy, and I moved up from Angio up to Rome. We come back, we had amphibious training, and then we hit southern France August the 15th, 1944. 1 month later, a month later, I was captured close to the German border. I was prisoner of war for 7.5 months in 2 different prison camps in Germany. I'm very glad to be home.
I'm Randy Jennings. I graduated from Grafton High School in 1963. That was the same year that President Kennedy was assassinated. I was in the U.S. Army 1964 to 1967. Spent a year in Germany, and pulled out of Germany and sent to Vietnam. Spent a year in Vietnam. Crew chief, gunner, helicopter.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the United States flag. I'm going to ask you some questions, and of course anybody who gets the right answer gets a gold star, which is worth absolutely nothing because I don't have any gold stars. But we have a code of how to take care of the flag. You all kind of familiar with that, right? I mean, there's certain things you do with the flag, and there's certain things you don't do with the flag. Well, if you see somebody walking down the hall not following the code, or downtown, they're just dragging a flag across the street through the mud puddles, somebody steps on it, somebody else tears a hole in it. Can they be punished? They can. How? What would happen to them?
Go to jail.
Other than the fact they see somebody like me or one of these guys and we punch them in the nose. Well, believe it or not, there's all these federal codes, but there is no punishment. So somebody could abuse the flag, and as far as the federal government is concerned, there is no punishment. They just get scorn and contempt and the opprobrium of people like you and me. Now you've got to go look up those big words. All right? And however, I'm guessing that if one of you was dragging the flag down the hallway here, other students were stepping on it, your principal or one of the teachers might have something, I would hope, to say about it. And they can have some kind of punishment or corrective action, as we used to say when I was a teacher. We never punished anybody. Just throw them over the hill. Oops, I forgot about that thing. The flag. Can we fly it in all kinds of weather? Rain, snow, snowing out there today. If you look out there, well, you guess you got to back up to see the flag. Yes, we can fly in all kinds of weather. If it is, what kind of flag? And all what? Think all weather flag. They make different kinds of flags. Some of them are straight indoor flags, some of them are ceremonial flags, and the ones that would be outside on the flagpole wouldn't be either of those. It would be an all-weather flag. That's okay. Can we fly it at night? Yes, that's correct. What do we have to do if we fly it at night? Oh, I got some over here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to annoy you three over here. What do we do if we fly the flag at night? What do we have to do? Have to shine a light on it. It has to be lit. We don't want the flag flying in the dark. And that's, again, part of the federal code. So if I put the flag up outside my house and I forgot to turn the porch light on to light it up, uh-oh. You know who tells me about it? Who do you think tells me about it?
Why?
You got it. And so I go running out and I want to make sure you turn the light on. The flag. Why do we fly the flag at half-staff? We notice why we lower the, take it at the top, and then we lower it halfway down. Why do we do that? Oh, come on, somebody's got to know. Who's been to the military? Yes, sir. The deaf. Mourning. We're sad. So we bring the flag down to half-staff. And we do that out here at the National Cemetery for every funeral that is performed, military funeral that is performed. If you look up on top of the hill, that flag will be at half-staff for every one. And then after the funeral, they'll run back up. If they have a funeral 2 hours later, they'll bring it back down. So if you're driving by the National Cemetery out there and you see the flag is not at the top, it's down, that means there's a military funeral either about to happen or is happening. So you know one of your heroes is gone. Somebody's paid the price for you. What we just say, we fly the flag, we run around the flagpole. What speed do we use when we take the flag up? How should it be raised? What? I'm sorry. I can't hear. Louder.
Slow.
Fast or slow?
Slow.
Fast. Yeah, yes, fast. Because what was the key word I said? We run it up the flagpole. So we run it up, get it up there. We're proud of it. We want to show everybody this is our flag. We want everybody to see it. And then when it comes time to take it down, how do we bring it down? Slow, because we're sad. The flag's no longer going to be above us. So we're going to bring it down slow. So remember, you always run it up, get it up there. And we'll bring it down slow. Let's see. Oh, there is, now, so we fly the flag at half-staff for funerals or deaths. There is one day a year that the flag starts off at half-staff. One federal holiday a year that we started at half. Does anybody know when that is? Pardon?
Veterans Day?
No. We thought it was. We were wrong. At least according to the handout I'm going to give you.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. And this city has what on Memorial Day? The longest running parade. Yes. And I hope you guys are out there this year. But Memorial Day, it starts off because we're sad for all the people who have served and given their life to their country. But at noon, the bell will toll 11 times or 12 times, I forget. And then we, did I mess it up?
No, I was just going to turn it down so it wouldn't be so
Oh, okay.
sensitive.
And at noon, we take the flag up. We run it up to the top of the pole for the rest of the day. Let's see. What other questions can I add? Oh, yes. We have the flag laying over here. And you have one at your house, and say maybe you have a flag like that. Can you lay your family Bible on top of it? Is that proper? She's good. She said, I'm not sure, but I don't think so. You're right, you don't. Nothing that should be laid on top of the American flag. It should just be displayed. It should be displayed by itself. Let's see. What have I forgotten, guys? Oh, saluting the flag. If you went to the Veterans Day parade yesterday, and you walked by the post office, and there was a flag up there, what should you have done if you were marching to the parade? You should have saluted the flag. Right, got it. And it's usually about 10 feet before you get to the flag and 10 feet after. Those of us who were standing, well, I wasn't standing on the side. If you were standing on the side and the band came by or the honor guard came by with the American flag, what would you do? Sit there and keep talking on your phone?
Yeah.
And I'm surprised some of you don't have calluses on your finger. Would you do that, or would you stop, come to attention, and salute the flag? Tell me you would stop and salute the flag. Is that what you would do? Yeah? Is that what you guys would do too?
So in
Yes,
the
that's what you
Memorial
should
Day
do.
parade, we should do that when it goes by?
Right. If you're not in uniform or you're not wearing one of these organizational caps, then you put your hand over your heart. If you're fortunate enough or not lucky enough maybe to come out and get shot at and get one of these things, then you can render a normal hand military salute.
So you don't clap when it comes by, because that's what we do at the parade. Stand and
You
salute.
should come to attention, salute the flag. Now, after it goes, you can clap until they get about, usually I use about 10 feet. Stop, salute, they go by, then you can resume cheering. Or when these guys come by in their van, cheer them on. They paid a heavy price. I say they, not me, they did all the heavy load. Let's see. Clothing. Can I take the flag and make a shirt out of it? Would that be proper? Take a good old, no, hold on.
We didn't hear it. Can you make
But
clothing out of it?
can I take the shirt, the flag, make a shirt out of it? Yeah, no. Can I have a shirt with the flag on it? Yes. You can't take the flag itself and make it a piece of clothing. Now, how do we retire a flag? That old, worn out, tattered flag is faded, it's ripped, it's only got one grommet, it flies, it's limp. How do we retire it?
Burn it.
Burn it. Do we just take it, I take it out of my wood burning fireplace that I haven't started yet because it's a brand new house, and throw the flag in there and let it go up and smoke? No, what do? By itself? That's true. We don't fold it. No. We actually dismember it. We take each stripe, cut it out. Then we get down to the blue field, we cut each star out. Then we make a pile, and then we destroy the flag. We retire the flag. We don't burn it, we don't destroy it. We retire it. That's the proper thing. And we retire them once a year out at the National Cemetery. They've been gracious enough to give us one vault, and we put the flags in that one vault. After they've been retired, they cover the vault up for a year, and then next year they uncover it. We take them out. Now, if you have a worn out flag that needs to be retired, you go to the VFW Post, and leave it with us. We'll take care of it at one time a year, or you can bring it by the National Cemetery and leave it with the people out there. They take care of the grounds. They've got a place where they keep the flags. And usually on Flag Day, June 14th is when we retire flags. And it takes a while. We normally usually have over 100 flags to take care of. And make sure that they are retired properly. Military funeral, let's say we always have a flag ring casket. Can we put anything on top of the flag? No. So that nice, beautiful spray of flowers that comes out there, they can't sit on top of the casket as long as the flag is there. Once the flag is removed, it's folded. Speaking of removing and folding a flag, is it about time to do that? These guys are going to show you how we fold a flag. The symbolism is not the 13 folds. And Mr. Hollis Gregory, our reader extraordinaire, is going to explain these things to you.
What would be your interpretation of a veteran? A veteran.
An old guy.
An old guy.
Is that right?
It's an individual where at one point in his life he signed a blank check made out to the United States of America for an amount up to and including his life. There's only been two defining forces that have ever offered to die for you: Jesus Christ and the American GI. One died for your soul, the other for your freedom. You gentlemen are preparing here. Some of you have been to a military funeral. You hear the 21-gun salute. You know how that's derived and how it comes about. Take the year 1776 and take the sum of them numbers. That's the 21-gun salute. And you'll notice that these gentlemen here will fold the flag meticulously 13 times to perfection. That has nothing to do with the original 13 colors and like that. A lot of people have that misconception. I'll explain to you what each fold represents. The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing our ranks who gave a portion of their lives for the defense of our country to obtain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature. For as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him that we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country For in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our hearts that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all of our enemies, whether they are found inside or outside of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood and mothers, for it is through their faith, love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of the men and women who have made this country great has been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the father, for he too has given his sons and daughters for the defense of our country since they were first born. The 11th fold represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in the Hebrews' eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies, in the Christian's eyes, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the 13th fold, or when the flag is completely folded and the stars are uppermost, reminds us of our nation's motto, which is,
You know it.
in God we trust. You'll notice every fold is done meticulously. It is folded to perfection, or it's unrolled and redone. It will be perfect. Now, after the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the sailors, soldiers who served under General George Washington, and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and the freedoms that we know today. Do we have any additional time, Colonel?
I think so.
The Colonel made reference a while ago to the flag inside of a shirt, on a shirt, whatever. I have a letter that I want to read for you. It is written by Senator John McCain. I know you've all heard of Senator John McCain. And I quote, "As you may know, I spent 5.5 years as a prisoner of war during the Vietnam War. In the early years of our imprisonment, the NVA kept us in solitary confinement or 2 or 3 to a cell. In 1971, the NVA moved us from these conditions of isolation into large rooms with as many as 30 or 40 men to a room. This was, as you can imagine, a wonderful change and was a direct result of the efforts of millions of Americans on behalf of a few hundred POWs 10,000 miles away from home. One of the men who moved into my room was a young man named Mike Christian. Mike came from a small town near Selma, Alabama. He didn't wear a pair of shoes until he was 13 years old. At 17, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy. He later earned a commission by going to officer training school. Then he became a naval flight officer and was shot down and captured in 1967. Mike had a keen and deep appreciation of the opportunities that this country and our military provide for people who want to work and want to succeed. As part of the change in treatment, the Vietnamese allowed some prisoners to receive packages from home. In some of these packages were handkerchiefs, scarves, other items of clothing. Mike got himself a bamboo needle. Over a period of about 2 months, he created an American flag and sewed it on the inside of his shirt. Every afternoon, before we had a bowl of soup, we would hang Mike's shirt on the wall of his cell and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I know the Pledge of Allegiance may not seem the most important part of our day now, but I can assure you that in that stark cell, it was indeed the most important and meaningful event. One day, the Vietnamese searched our cell, as they did periodically, and discovered Mike's shirt with this flag sewn inside, and they removed it. That evening, they returned, opened the door of the cell, and for the benefit of all of us, they beat Mike Christian severely for the next 2 hours. Then they opened the door of his cell and threw him in. We cleaned him up as best we could. The cell in which we lived had a concrete slab in the middle of which we slept. 4 naked light bulbs hung in each corner of the room. And I said, well, we tried to clean Mike up as well as we could. After the excitement died down, I looked in the corner of the room, and sitting there beneath that dim light bulb with a piece of red cloth, another shirt, and his bamboo needle was my friend Mike Christian. He was sitting there with his eyes swelled shut from the beating he'd received, making another American flag. He was not making a flag because it made Mike Christian feel better. He was making that flag because he knew how important it was to us to be able to pledge our allegiance to our flag and our country. So the next time you say the Pledge of Allegiance, you must never forget the sacrifice and courage that thousands of Americans have made to build our nation and promote freedom around the world. You must remember our duty, our honor, and our country. Thank you.
Reading extraordinaire, right? Wish I could do that well. Do you have any questions out there? Somebody surely must have a question about the flag, service, or where we've been, or what we've done, what they did. Come on. Exercise your brains. Come up with something.
Yes, you have at least one POW and 5 veterans here that have served. Gosh, I tried to add up the number of years between me and I couldn't do the math. It was almost 200 years. It's over 100 years. Do you have any questions for him or any questions about the flag? I know that I didn't know most of this, and I was glad that they came here today and told us. I'm going to have to pay attention to what I'm doing at the Memorial Day Parade this year, because I usually just stand there and clap. I did not know I was supposed to be putting my hand on my heart. I gotta go home and put the light out tonight too for my flag.
I won't forget tonight. Gotta keep the light on the 2 chickens in the front yard. So keep the light
How
on.
many of you have been at a flag lowering? I was just telling her at every ball game they raise, but I don't know when they lower. I must not be. Do they do it when we leave?
So, yes, after everybody, pretty much after everybody's gone.
That might be why.